HHIS is down 18% since I bought it. The market has been absolutely brutal over the last month. Tech stocks have gotten crushed, and a lot of people in the comments and the entire investing community are panicking. People are asking if this fund is broken, if the dividend is safe, and if I'm underwater on it and just too stubborn to admit it. By the way, I'm Tony. I'm documenting my journey from quitting a decent paying full-time night shift job to following my dream of building my tech services business while using dividend income to supplement my family's needs. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up my brokerage account to you and show you every single distribution I've collected from HHIS over the last 6 months, the exact dollar amounts. Then I'm going to tell you honestly whether I think it's worth it. No fluff, no clickbait, just my real account and real numbers. But quick side note here before we get started, I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing my journey with you on this channel, the ups and the downs. I don't encourage you to copy me and do exactly what I've done. Do your own research. And if you're looking for a good place to start with that research, check out investing.com. They were kind enough to provide a coupon code to my viewers that gets you 15% off their InvestingPro platform. So if you're looking for more feedback and advice, check them out. Okay, with that all out of the way, some quick context for anyone that's new here. HHIS is a harvest ETF, and it holds 20 of the largest tech and growth stocks. Things like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, and it writes covered calls on top of them to generate income. That's its whole play. You're trading some of your upside in a bull market for a consistent monthly cash flow. Currently, at HHIS's share price, it's paying out a whopping 31% annual yield. Hopefully that will come down as the share price moves back up. Hopefully the share price does move back up. Now, I'm buying into HHIS with one goal in mind, $1,000 a month from HHIS alone. Not $1,000 total, not from all of the different funds I hold in my portfolio, but as a single reliable income block, $1,000 a month from HHIS alone. I hold 2,605 shares, purchased at an average cost of $12.08 per share. That's $31,469 deployed into this one position. Now let's look at what that money has actually done. All right, so over the last 6 months, here's every distribution I received from HHIS. Back in October, $405 in my TFSA. Nothing in the RRSP yet. November, $447 in the RRSP and $31 in the RRSP. December, $500 in the TFSA, $33 in the RRSP. January, $566 in the TFSA and $34 in the RRSP. February, $595 in the TFSA and $35 RRSP. And last month in March, $620 in the TFSA, $36 in the RRSP. 6 months, 6 payments, $3,306.99 in distributions collected. And here's the surprising thing. The distribution has never been lowered. Throughout this fund's entire history, the dividend has only gone up, starting at 25 cents a share per month and being raised first to 26 cents in October of last year and then up to 27 cents in November, where it has remained. April's payout has already been confirmed to stay at 27 cents, despite the drop in the share price in both HHIS and in almost all of its underlying holdings. It's remained consistent. And that's important because the number one question I'm seeing in the comments and on Reddit right now is, did they cut the dividend? Will they cut the dividend? Well, they haven't yet, not even once. Now, recent interviews with Harvest shows that they're taking steps to manage the fund in a way that will allow them to maintain this. Of course, I don't have a crystal ball, and past performance does not guarantee future results. But it's certainly in Harvest's best interest to keep the dividend where it is. Now, am I at my $1,000 a month goal? Not yet. I've got a ways to go, in fact. I'll put up my tracker right here so you can check it out on screen. So here's where I'm going to be straight with you. Because if I only showed you the income side, I would just be cherry picking the good stuff. Kind of like a finfluencer trying to sell you $1,000 course. But that's not me. I always strive to be transparent. So let's talk about the NAV, the price per share, because it's down. Like I said, I paid an average of $12.08 per share, and right now it's trading at $9.83. That's an unrealized loss for me of $5,854, at least on paper. So let's do the real math. Total income collected, $33,006.99. Unrealized capital loss, $5,854. That leaves my net position right now at negative $2,547. Ouch. But depending on your investing philosophy, that number is either fine or it's a red flag. Maybe even a giant red flag. And I want to talk about both sides of that philosophy. But first, real quick, drop a comment on which side of the fence you're on. The bear case? NAV erosion on covered call ETFs is real. If the price keeps declining, at some point, your distributions don't offset the losses. That's a legitimate concern, and right now, that's where I'm at. But then there's the bull case. I'm not selling, I'm collecting income, and until the 27 cents gets cut, the cash keeps hitting my account every month, whether the market is up or down. So here's how I think about it. This portfolio I've built was never about capital gains for me. It's about building income that can supplement my tech business and help provide for my family. So as long as HHIS keeps paying me 27 cents a share each month, I'm happy. And honestly, if it kept paying just 25 cents a share, like it was when I opened the position, I'll keep holding on to it. But let's talk about the panic. People are worried about the share price drop, and it's definitely fair to be worried. My take is viewing this dip like a sale. I can buy more shares with my investment dollars. So if your goal is to own more shares overall, then this could be viewed as a good thing. Now, you shouldn't buy covered call ETFs expecting the share price to increase. The upside is always reduced or even capped. So will HHIS recover to its all-time highs? I don't know. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but we do have precedents to look back on, if only past performance was a guarantee of future results, right? But that said, last April, when the tariffs were announced, we saw a similar drop in the share price of HHIS, all the way to all-time lows. And over time, it did recover quite nicely to near inception high prices. So if that pattern repeats, it makes now a great time to buy. But that's not financial advice. So what if they do cut the dividend? Well, like I said, I was okay with 25 cents a share when I started buying it, and I would weather the storm if they had to take it back there again. But if they dropped it lower, I'd have to seriously consider my path forward. Because so far, looking all the way back to inception, through other drops and sell-offs, Harvest has been able to keep or increase the distributions. So I'm not going to get bent out of shape and worry about what-ifs. So, was HHIS worth it? Well, here's my honest answer. The income side has delivered exactly what it promised. 27 cents a month, every month. It's held through one of the ugliest stretches for tech stocks in recent memory. I've been paid $3,306.99. That money coming in over the last 6 months for me doing absolutely nothing. No night shifts, no Zoom calls, no texts from the boss while I try to sleep. HHIS. The NAV side is the risk that I accepted going in. I knew covered call ETFs erode in down markets. That's a trade-off. And I'm not pretending that it isn't real. My position, I'm wishing I had more spare funds to buy the dip. I'm buying whatever shares I can, and here's why. Nothing has happened to change my mind since I decided to open this position. My 1K a month goal in this, I'm 70% of the way there. With the rest of my portfolio dipping in distributions, I haven't had a lot of capital to buy with, so I'm still kind of stuck at 70%. But I'll keep these updates coming. And if anything changes, if the distribution gets cut, or if I change my position, you'll hear about it here first, good or bad. And if you're watching this and you hold HHIS, let me know your situation in the comments below. How many shares? What's your income look like? And what's your plan as we weather this? I read everything and try to respond to it as well. Subscribe if you want the updates when it drops. And if you're new here and want to know what the rest of my portfolio looks like, that video will be linked.